betrayal, deception, romance, murder. This is the story of my matric dance. None of that is true, but I hope I got your attention. I've been seeing a lot of matric dance transitions on my TikTok, so I thought now is like the perfect time to tell the story about my matric dance. And also I'm going to turn 25 next year, and I want to get this all out before I turn 25 and be that person that's like constantly talking about their high school.
It's memorable. But why the fuck are you 25? You don't even get asked to, you don't even get ID'd at the store anymore when you're buying liquor. Why the fuck are you talking about prom?
You have a beard.
You old fucking fart. Fuck you.
Even though in my defense, I have nothing good to say, like it's only just complaints. Our girls had a horrible time in high school. We're gonna start from the beginning, getting my dress, like getting prepared and everything. So my dream dress when I was kind of doing some research in grade 11 was the most 2014 like Tumblr dress ever. It was, I'm not sure, I think it's like sweetheart neckline, but it was like this and like lace, covered in lace, and it's white. And then at the waist it went out and poofy with this material, and it was like this turquoise blue, which is the most 2014 color ever. And the only reason I didn't get it was because like I felt like guilty because it was too expensive, and I have never been so grateful. I wasn't into fashion and style back then, so I didn't even know what type of dress I wanted. I literally would just Google matric dance dresses and just kind of go with it. Like my friends and stuff would get like a dress custom made, but I didn't even have like an idea of what I would want, so I just kind of bought one. When we went to go try on like the dresses from this place, so I tried on the dress that I chose and this other dress which was like long sleeve and kind of similar, but I kind of just settled on the two cheapest dresses. I didn't tell my mom, like we had definitely been saving up for matric, but it was expensive, and my mom would get like my dream dress, that white dress, if I really wanted to, but I kind of felt guilty, so I ended up just kind of settling for the dress that I have now. It wasn't horrible, but like I felt nothing for it. So the dress that I actually got was this dark red dress, which you may have seen on my TikToks. It has this like circular neck, which I hated. I have never seen a dress with that. I still to this day hate that part of the dress. But it has this really like sexy, like it has like a cleavage, it's very open, which I was very surprised my mom let me. I think she kind of knew that I was settling for the dress, so she was like, fine, just like have it. This was the same woman that said 16-year-old me looked like a whore when I wore red lipstick, so I was very surprised. And then at the end of the waist it had this little jewel, which I also hated, and then it kind of just like flared out like a normal dress. So for my accessories, I knew nothing about jewelry at the time, what was trendy, what even like worked for me, because like I didn't even buy jewelry before then. So I literally just told my mom, she was going on holiday, and I told her literally just go to those cheap stores that sell like cheap jewelry and just get silver, any silver jewelry that you see. Like, and I also told her to get like cheap like kids shoes. And then the shoes she chose, which I like cannot be mad at her because I didn't know what I wanted and like I wouldn't know any better. So she chose these ones, and they are the ugliest shoes I've ever seen in my entire life, but I still wore it. I'm pretty sure these are for like 10-year-olds when they go to like weddings and stuff. And then I also wore this chunky bracelet that I found like in the back of my cupboard, or maybe got for like my birthday or Christmas like years back. I don't know what part of my brain thought I should wear a chunky bracelet. Like I have very dainty like small wrists, so no bracelet would have been like the best choice ever, but if I were to wear one, maybe like a small pretty one, like I don't know. And then at the date I decided, because it was cold, as a jacket I literally wore a white leather jacket. Like why? Like why? I don't regret any of it to this day. Like I look back and I'm like, that's a baddie, like she wins. This whole day, everything about this thing was a disaster, but the only one good thing was my date. Like he, best thing ever, best date ever, like iconic. So I was in a group of 4 friends and decided we would all go together as like friends and stuff. And I also saw like my best friend was going through so much drama with her date, and I was like, I don't want any of that drama. Like I'm glad that I'm going with my friends. So I was like, okay, yeah, like I didn't really expect to be asked, honestly. I did not expect to be asked, and I didn't get asked to go, but like slowly over time my friends started getting asked, and my friends would ask other people, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll find a date. So I decided like, okay, I'll just ask someone in my class. So I asked one of the guys like, do you have a date? And he was like, no. And I was like, will you be my date? And he was like, yes. And I was like, ah. But after I asked him, he was so sweet. Like I literally just wanted to have someone there just to say that I had a date. Like I had zero expectations. I didn't want him to do anything, like just kind of be there. Like he would ask like what color my dress was to match his tie to my dress, and I was like, that's so sweet, like you don't have to do that. And then he also like asked what color like flower I would like as a corsage. And like our school doesn't do corsages, like it's not a tradition or a thing that anyone else did. I think I was the only one, like but he got me a corsage and it was so sweet. I think I still have it. I do. Oh my goodness. And it's all like dried up and like ugly now, but this is it's 2022 now. I've had this since 2016. Like, woo! And the fact that like no one else asked him, like I got really lucky. And like he was just such like a gentleman. Like at our matric dance, I remember we were like standing in to take photos with our dates and stuff. I was just like saying into like nowhere, just complaining that I was so cold, and he gave me his jacket, and that was like, I don't know, maybe this is like the bare minimum and like I'm just getting excited, but we literally just went as friends, and like we weren't even friends before that, but he was so sweet. We were having like our dessert. It was 3 little like small desserts, so I think it was like a chocolate cake, something else, and a cheesecake, and he didn't like chocolate and I didn't like cheesecake. I had his chocolate cake and he had my cheesecake, and I was like, it's giving destiny. Next, so yeah, so that was the dress, there was accessories, and now the car drama. So this was before the dance. Like I said, the plan was all 4 of us were kind of gonna go in a limo together, and I just kind of went with the flow. Like someone suggested it, and I was like, okay, that sounds cool. And then so the person who organized it, I think he like contacted all the moms and stuff like that. I don't know how, but he did. And then he, in the group chat with the 4 of us, was like, guys, we can't do the limo because someone's mom said no. And I thought that was very shady, because it was like, we're all gonna figure out who's the mom, and it kind of just feels like you're kind of just making the person's mom feel bad. Just say like it didn't work out, like it just, you know. But then over time, like I found out that it was my best friend's mom, and she didn't say no. She was like, okay, let me think about it, because like it's an expensive thing. It's a thing everyone has to, like, you can't just be like, okay, yeah, here's the money, and like, you know, you need the info and stuff like that. And then my poor like best friend's mom felt like so guilty, which she should not have. And she ended up organizing the car so that me, my best friend, and our dates would go in, and then like the other guy friend and his friend can like zone them out. Please someone like ask me to tell you about this friend of mine, because he was, first of all, a narcissist, like a fact, like I'm not exaggerating. He would lie about like losing his virginity like 4 times. Like I have so many stories. Like, so my friend's mom organized this really cute like vintage car. Like I said, I didn't care, even if I went to like my dad's car in like I didn't mind, but I was really happy to go in that cute car. So for my makeup, like I said when my mom called me a whore for wearing red lipstick, I loved makeup and dressing up and all of the stuff, but my mom was very, very strict on me not wearing makeup ever. So like during high school, I was like very insecure because I couldn't even cover up like my scarring or just like any of my insecurities. So I used my matric dance as a way to make my mom like let me buy makeup. I did not want to get it done by someone, because if you say like I want to get matric dance makeup, they will change your face completely. They'll give you like dramatic ass lashes, this huge shimmery eye. Like this was in 2016 where like peak makeup was very dramatic, and I didn't want to change my face dramatically, and I knew that they would. So like I did my own makeup for my dance. 0 regrets. I kept it very simple. I do have one regret. I wish I had done like more eyeliner and stuff like that. So for my makeup, I told you like I wanted it simple. What I was gonna wear is like a shimmery eye and a matte red lipstick, because that was like very in 2016. Now the worst part, I think, actually that's not the worst part. One of the worst parts of it was my hair. I wanted to do my hair like straightened and then just gonna pin it back and just very like slick back. Like I said, I didn't want to do like a big dramatic bun or something, like some weird updo, because I would look ridiculous. I need to take a shit. Like I could have done it at home, but for some reason I have like really frizzy hair, and no matter how like well I straightened it or anything, like it just didn't work out. So I decided like it's not expensive to get my hair washed and straightened. So oh, this is like, so I don't know why. Okay, I went to the hairstylist and I told her what I wanted. I feel like you know where this is going. But anyways, she was like, are you sure, like it's your matric dance, don't you want to do something like big? And she's kind of old. Matric dances and like proms and stuff used to be really big and dramatic, and you do these big buns, and so she was very confused as to why I was doing just like a simple like, and she was like, are you sure you want to do something? I can add in a braid, I can add in some curls. And I cannot explain to you how much I hate myself, but I'm such a pushover. I'm not that anymore. I mean, if you think about my matric dance, like things just happen to me. I have made almost 0 decisions about anything. I just kind of let everyone else take the wheel, including with my hair. What she did is she was like, let me straighten it and then take some curls like at the, like just random parts. Like she would take like, my hair's so disgusting right now, but she would take this much and then she would curl it, and then she would do that like around my whole head. So it would be straightened with the side part with just like some random curls, and then like she randomly braided a bit and like put it. It was horrific, it was disgusting, and I let her do it. There was no gun to my head. If I said no, I just want my hair to be straight and like how I wanted, she would be like, that sounds great. But for some fucking reason, I just let her do that to me on my matric dance day. Like, it wasn't horrific and disgusting, but also it was. On the day I was like, okay, it's fine, like I didn't care. Like genuinely, no part of me was frustrated afterward. I was like, wow, I look kind of pretty. Like, I look quite pretty. Like I went with it. Like on the day, I was like, that's great. Like looking back at the pictures years later, I was like, that's cute. Fucking dumbass. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't do my original hair. As you may have seen in the pictures, I hadn't grown into my nose yet. That is just like an Indian thing. Like my nose was very much more obvious before I turned 19 than it is now. And if I did the slick back type of hair straighten, my nose would have looked fucking so much more like defined. And like I would have killed myself. Because like I was very insecure about my nose. I was determined to get a nose job. I didn't know where I'd get the money, but I was determined. So then I went home and I got dressed, I got ready, I did my makeup. My mom rushed me for some reason. And I didn't get to do all the things I wanted to do because we were doing photos at my best friend's house. Now, I'm the star. Me and my best friend were the star. Why should we be rushing for people, for anyone else? Like everyone else should be waiting for us. It was not that big of a deal. She's insane, love you, but like, what the fuck? And it was so frustrating. And I was doing my own makeup. Like I panicked, I was like rushing and stuff for no reason. For no reason. Anyways, it's fine, like I don't even care. It's been 5 years, like I don't care. So as I was leaving, my dad came back from wherever the fuck he was. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going to my besties to take the photos. And then he looks at me and is like, oh, I'm sorry, I've got golf. He didn't actually have golf, but I'm just using that because it was just that type of, that was how important that thing was. Like my matric dance for your first child, who is a girl, going fucking golfing. But he was like, I'm gonna go to golf. And I didn't have like daddy issues before this. This was definitely like the start of it. But I was like, oh, okay. Can we take a picture before you go? He was like, yeah, okay. And then that was it. Like I got in the car. Like, I know my best friend because our dads worked together. That's how we met. And everyone else that was there, we knew because like my dad works with all of them. I had to keep lying and saying like the reason my dad couldn't come was because he went to work. Because it would be so embarrassing to say my dad didn't come to take pictures, like family pictures and stuff, because he would rather go golfing, which felt like shit. But we moved a lot of the time. Like we just had to move. So like, yeah, I just kind of got over it and we took our cute little pictures. I didn't want to take pictures with my date because like he was really sweet and stuff like that, but like I wanted to be with my girl. So, oh my gosh. So you know how I don't know if I told you, but like I went to a predominantly white school and there was, everyone like made their own plans, I guess their friend group. And there was this group of friends, I think there were maybe like 30 friends that decided to go to this place to take pictures. There was not one person of color, not one. And like it was predominantly white, but like not that predominant. Like they were all white, and there was like 30 or something, and it was like they took this group picture along this like I don't know what the fuck, and it was just like a line of white girls, just like not a touch of melanin. It was, yeah. So the plan was you take your photos with your friends and your family, like pre's or whatever. You go and you arrive at the school, and then you kind of, that's where you arrive with your car and you kind of do this like show, and there's like this kind of like audience that kind of cheer for you as you come in. It's very sweet. There's like literally like seats and stuff. So on our way there, I fetched my date literally at Spa, like, and he was very sweet. That's where he gave the corsage, and we took this really cute picture. And then yeah, so we arrived at the school, we took the picture, and then what you're supposed to do is you get into the foyer and you do this like fashion show. And like I bought my mom fashion show tickets, but this woman, she didn't know how to get in, she didn't know how to get there. And people like come early to see like everyone's like looks and stuff to get good seats. So she obviously came late, like much longer after us. So then she could have been like in the school, like in the hall, like seeing everyone do it, but she didn't know how to get in there. So she was like far away. We did the runway and then we kind of just like mingled in the foyer, and then from there we went to the dance because it was over the mountain at this like wedding venue. The dance was pretty chill, it was very fun. It wasn't that iconic, but it wasn't terrible, no drama, no like shitty moments or anything. I lie. Okay, so it was time to take pictures, and we obviously would have like a picture for each class. I think there were like 6 classes. And when we went to go talk to the photographer, she was like a girl in a grade younger than us, and she was asking like which classes did I miss. So she was listing the classes that she did, and I was like, oh, you didn't do my class was else. So I was like, else, and she didn't hear me, or she ignored me, and I was like, else, and she's like, I already did else. And I was like, you didn't do else, like I'm an else and I didn't take a picture. So then I went and I asked my friend, and she's like, oh yeah, we took the picture. So no one in the class like noticed I wasn't there. 30 people, not one person was like, Where's Yastika? That made me feel like shit. That and like my dad not wanting to come just made me want to put it in my head, but we moved. Next was the after party. So I kind of gaslit my mom into thinking that the after party was a school event where it very much was not. And the plan was we were supposed to go to Long Street. First and last time I went there. So yeah, as we're leaving from the dance to the after party, this is just me complaining and being a bitch. Like, I have no hatred or anything for my bestie. She just annoyed me, and if I told her like, hey, you did this thing that annoyed me after, she'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean to. Like, she has not a single malicious bone in her body, which is hilarious because all of my bones are filled with malice. But yeah, I just want to complain. So as we were going to the after party, she was in a different bus than me. She kind of like ditched me, and I kind of just ended up sitting alone by myself. Like, this is actually like so sad. Like, I didn't realize how sad this was. But I ended up going in the bus with like other people, but I didn't like fuck with them, so I just kind of sat alone on the way there. So once we arrived at the club, I didn't tell you what I was wearing. So like I said, my mom was very strict, and that is why I turned into such a whore on Instagram after. I could not show my shoulders. I think my dad is back. Fuck. It's been a week, I think, since like that last clip, because I haven't been home alone or I haven't looked cute, but now I do. So let's carry on. So I don't think I'm going to show you a picture. I have one picture of me at the after party, and I'm not going to show you. I'm going to burn that photo because it is like it's been 5 years and like I'm over some of the stuff, but like that is so embarrassing. But okay, anyways, let me set the scene. So you know how like in 2014, 2015, 2016 maybe, girls wearing business casual was like cute. For some reason we thought looking like a primary school secretary was cute. So I literally wore, and I was so proud of it. Like I was like, I'm gonna whip out my dress, guys. Like I wore this dress, which is literally, let me describe it for you. It's a high neck, because that's what you want. You want to cover all of this. It was gray. It went past my elbows. So all of that is covered. And then at my waist, it flows out up until my knees. So I am covered from neck to knee, which is fine. Like, very not me. It just like not the style at all, but I was so proud of it. And then in addition to that, I wore stockings and these heels, which literally I look like a secretary, and I was like, I'm a baddie. Like all that was missing was like an infinity scarf, and I didn't regret it. Not one part of me regrets it. I was a baddie then, and I ate. The understanding was that we kind of booked a club just for all of us to go as the after party, because there was like 100 and something of us. So we would get like a whole club exclusively to ourselves, so that people underage, like people who hadn't turned 18 yet, could go. As we get there, we walk into the club. There are other people there, first of all. Second of all, the area for us, that we paid extra. We paid like, I don't know, I think more than 50 Rand, less than 120 Rand in 2016, which is a lot of money. Even now it's a lot of money to kind of get more than what you would get if you go to a normal club. I sound so old saying club. Like, we get there and we see these chairs shaped in like as a rectangle with a guy standing with like velvet rope. That is what we paid for. It wasn't even like a place where it had a private area or an exclusive area. They had to make one. It was so bad. And then I looked at the person who organized it, and they were clearly pissed. So it was clear that like when he did it, this was not what he wanted. So a lot of people ended up leaving because it wasn't even good enough. Like the music and everything else wasn't good enough. Like how in 2016 can you not have like good music in a club? Like just play Ariana Grande, like any Ariana Grande song. Closer by the Chainsmokers, like you can't lose. But it was absolutely terrible. But because my bestie was underage, she couldn't get anywhere else, which was fine because I didn't actually want to go. Like I had reached my limit by that time. Like I literally just sat there on the couch. It's like, I mean, look at me. Like Long Street would chew me up and spit me out. Like I didn't want to, just like, okay, it's fine. And then there's this one moment which you guys are gonna like, okay. So while we were there, like I can't explain to you, like I have not been in the real world. Even now, like I'm 24, I still have not been a part of the real world. Like I don't know anything. So we're there sitting at these sad ass couches in this corner of this club. And this guy kind of like comes up to us, and he like comes up to me and my friend and this other guy, my friend. And he lifts up his camera, and I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe he's like part of the, like, I don't know, just taking pictures to post like on Facebook and stuff, because This is when Facebook was like the Instagram. So we like pose, and then he comes up to me and he like prints out the photo and he's like 30 rand, and I'm like, what? Like, I didn't know I was like getting a picture taken to be printed out and given to me, but like I couldn't say that. Like, he was a grown man. I'm imagine this, but 18. Like, I couldn't be like, oh no, I didn't ask for that, because he already printed it out. And like, I don't fight. I just accept it and I move on. So I look at my purse. I don't have any money. I literally take money from my friend. So at this point, I'm at Long Street with no money, because I bought this stupid ass photo, which I look horrendous in, and it's just like so embarrassing. But yeah, that's all I have. After that, we end up, so I think by like 4 was when we were supposed to go into the buses and go back home. In the bus on the way home, once again, my friend was with her other best friend, so I was alone at 4 o'clock in the morning in this bus with people I did not fuck with. I was done. Like, I was just sitting on the single seat in the buddy bus, just like, I just want to go home. So there's this tradition, so I believe there's this tradition, how do I say tradition so weird? So apparently there's this tradition that after the after party, you go to Kobe and you watch the sunrise and have breakfast. So as we're in the buses, like the mini buses to go home, the guys that like organize it or kind of like in charge ask the guys like, hey, can you drop us off by Cook Bay? And they say no, because we organized it to get dropped off past Cook Bay. So the shorter way is to go over the mountain. I don't blame the drivers, because their plan was to go to this from A to B. So so we ended up missing like that major part that kind of most people wanted to do. So we ended up getting dropped off at our high school, because that's where most people could fetch us, because it was near where we all lived. And when we get there, I'm over it. I truly am. So as we get there, our school is by a different beach, but you can't see the sunrise from that beach. Like, you would only see the sun at like 1 p.m. and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun had already risen. So, but at then people were like, let's just go to this beach and we can see the sunrise there. I was done. I tapped out. I had been through enough. My dad was supposed to fetch me and my best friend, but I also had to like her parents to fetch her, because I was done. I'm like ready to go. Like, I'm time of death, like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I called my dad to fetch me, and on the drive back, everything was completely normal. We acted like, you know, nothing happened, as most toxic Indian families do. But as we're driving back, he asked me, you know, how was the day? And I said, it was great.